to all you Ontario landlords. Thanks for joining in on our conversation today with Robert Di Lisi of Stonegate Legal Services. I'm sure you've heard me say this before, and if you haven't, this definitely won't be the last time you hear me say this. Landlords, you are a business owner. It is not just an investment or retirement plan. Yes, this is a great investment. If you ask me, the best investment you can make long term. But I'm always talking with landlords about this topic, about how they should look and think with regards to the rental property, simply that it is a business. Okay, that's how we have to think about things. Too many times, we're also concentrating on the wrong number about how much does something cost, when what we really need to be concentrating on is what do I net by doing this. Doesn't matter how much you save or how much you spend, it's what you're going to net. Now, don't get me wrong, cost is always a factor, but shouldn't be your main focus. As you know, I'm a real estate broker with Remax, and I started specializing in pre-construction and investment real estate almost a decade ago. I absolutely love the conversation of how we can make money with our money and how I can help you do so. One cost that I believe is very beneficial to landlords is property management. There are many companies out there that provide all different types of services at and cover a whole bunch of different services, different prices as well. So our conversation today is going to be that topic there of property management and why it is something a landlord should consider. Rob, how are you? Thanks for joining us today. What is your number one reason a landlord should hire a property manager?
So I will start off by saying that I also have a property management company, but it's for my own stuff that I do. And I can say that the number one reason is the specialized knowledge that a good property manager will be able to bring to the table. There's a lot of people out there that claim to be property managers. They try to do it on the side, but you need to find someone that is dedicated and has the specialized knowledge. Someone like you that has the real estate experience behind them is always going to be a plus. But the biggest thing I'm going to say is peace of mind. That would be the number one thing.
Yeah, I'm with you there for sure. I think as a landlord, knowing that you don't have to deal with tenant communications and the hands-on and everything like that, and it can be a little bit passive. That, like you said, you're with a trusted source looking after your property, which is in your best interest. I too have a property management company, right? Cressy Property Management, and we specialize in the everyday landlord, single family to small multifamily buildings, and it's about helping the everyday landlord. As a realtor, and when we started working with more investors, I decided to try to help some of my realtor clients with their parental properties, probably about 7, 8 years ago now, and learned very quickly that I wasn't ready. I didn't have the systems in place. I didn't have the time. I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I was just trying to help my clients out, and I learned that that wasn't correct. We figured everything out. We launched Cressy Property Management, and that's one of the things that I talk to still a lot of realtors about. Is exactly that too. Why, as realtors, should we not try to assist our clients? Right? How much trouble can we get into, or how much trouble can we cost our landlords if we're doing something incorrectly?
Right. So I hear this all the time because real estate agents call us all the time and they claim to be the property managers of the property. Most of the times they do it because they want to do the favor to their clients who are overseas. The thing is that you need to understand what property management is. So, in regards to the notices, a property manager can fill out notices, but they cannot advocate at the board. So here's the problem is that if a property manager is filling it out, they are now taking on the liability of that form not being done correctly. And we've had many conversations about this. We're looking at about 6 to 8 months before you even get to the board. And if there's any incorrections in the notice, it can be dismissed. So I'm going to say the number one thing is going to be the liability. I'm going to say the knowledge. I'm going to say the time because a lot of real estate agents don't have the time. They think that property management is just a passive job to do for their clients. And the last thing that I'm going to say is that, if there's any maintenance or repair issues, and you said it earlier, there should be a system in place to take care of those problems before it becomes a problem. Because under the Residential Tenancies Act, under Section 20, the landlord must upkeep and repair the property. So it's very important that if you're going to hire a property manager, that it's not a part-timer, it's not someone that's doing it just to get extra income. It's someone that's dedicated, has a system, maybe even a team that is also going to help them.
Again, we learned as we tried there very quickly that we weren't ready. It does take a lot. It is very time consuming. Again, as a realtor helping one client, you might think it's okay, but when you're starting to get into multiple properties, it's very time consuming, and you don't want to, again, make a small error because of something going on or not doing something properly, and that costing your clients, your landlord that you're trying to help out months at the LTV. Because at the end of the day, it's their
Yeah.
money. It's their tenant, right? It's their property that they're trying to collect and deal with everything there for. Um, when you're looking for property managers, right? Like I said, there's a whole bunch of different companies. There are a ton of different price points that people go by, and there are different services that are included in. If you were to guide a landlord as to what they should be looking for, what would you say there? What would be something they should look into?
Yeah. So first of all, I would say that references in regards to like a referral to a property manager would probably be the best thing. Make sure they're reputable. Make sure they have systems in place. Maybe even doing some reviews. There are some property management companies that we deal with, and some are horrible. They just want to collect the money and they bill their clients, whatever. So I'm going to say having systems. Like I said earlier, I know you have a team, so having a team in place because you can't do everything. So you need someone to be able to follow up and make sure that things are being done properly.
Agreed. It takes a team to do everything. You have to have a Rolodex of tradespeople in different areas or wherever you're servicing, because you never know what's going to happen at a property and who's going to be needed. And you really want to have somebody that's going to get there quickly as well, right? So knowing people that are working well with you in good working relation. Some of the things I've heard tradespeople say is that they don't like working with property management companies because landlords take forever to pay, and they
Yeah.
want to get paid
Yeah.
right away. So for us, one of the things that we've done and corrected is we make sure they're paid right away, and then we'll collect from the landlord if we have to.
Yep.
But we don't white label or upcharge anything from what our trades charge. They are billed directly to the landlord so that they can expense it and write it off as a business expense come year's end.
Good.
Yeah, no. What we've done, I think, anyways, I'm biased obviously with our little program here, but there's lots of different things out there. We are management, right? We all maintenance for us is done additional, where some property management companies charge more on a monthly
Yeah.
or basis for maintenance included in the low end stuff, or however they word that. Again, when you're looking at something, make sure you understand what's being included in and what you're going to be billed extra for. Um, when Rob mentioned as well, having that team in place to be able to do different things, the systems. If you're running around collecting checks from everybody or managing e-transfers from people or trying to collect that from your landlords, that's going to be a big headache as well. So having an automated payment system, a portal, the larger property management companies, they have something like that again, so that can monitor and track everything. But it's really, like we said originally, the peace of mind, right? That's what you're looking for. You want to have somebody looking after your property that you're confident with and in, that they are going to be doing what's in your best interest with your property so that you don't have to think about
Yeah.
it on a day to day basis, so that you can go out and do whatever it is that you want to do. Um, Rob, you'll probably
Can
get.
I add something, Kevin? Do you mind? Sorry, Kevin. I want to add something because I'm not sure. Do you ever do condominiums or not?
So we can't do like full condominiums. We do single units. Um,
Okay.
as we're continuing to grow, we're getting into commercial spaces now. But to do an
Okay.
actual condominium, you need a specific license, and we're
I
not.
was just about to say that.
Yeah, we're not there. But we do take care of single units inside a condominium. Again, what we built
Good.
and the program that we have here is the landlord protection program, is to protect and make sure our landlords understand what they're going through and everything, so that they don't have to deal with the day to day.
Yeah.
One of the things that I, again, believe it's important to have a property management team in place for you or manager is for tenant communication. Not just when something needs to get fixed so that you don't have to deal with it right away or whatever your busy day is going to be like, but just that conversation back and forth. Rob, I'm sure you'll be able to give a couple of examples of this, but I'll share one that we went through where it really mattered that I was involved, because when you're dealing with the tenant and the landlord, they're seeing it from their eyes, and that's all they're seeing it from, right? So here's the example. We had a single mother with 3 kids renting a house, and the washing machine broke. And she called me in the afternoon. By the time I got in the afternoon, I was able to get a tech over the next day. Then I found out from the tech what the problem was going to be, how much it was going to cost. Then relay that to our landlord. Landlord takes about a day to decide, and he decides, you know what, I'm going to buy a brand new machine, because for that few $100s to fix it, I'd rather just get a new machine. So now we've ordered a new machine. It gets delivered and installed. And from the time she called me until the time she was able to do her first washing load again at home was almost a week. So she was furious, right? For those 7 days, she had to do laundry. She had to take her 3 kids and the clothes, go to a laundromat, the time, the energy, the headache. She was not happy that it took 7 days. But we did it as quickly as we could, right? The thing is, our landlord now is, he says, why is she mad? I bought a brand new machine for her. And it was just making them both understand that, hey, we did everything we could. Don't be upset, but she's upset because of this. And we had to have that conversation with both sides so that they knew. But me in the middle made them both not get emotional, not get frustrated and
Yeah.
angry and mad. And the simple fix was, we gave her a Visa gift card as a apology for the inconvenience. It's a business write-off to our landlord, and she's happy now, and the problem was solved. But he couldn't figure out why she was mad, because he bought a brand new machine, right? And anyways, that was our most recent one, where I think me being in the middle really dissolved a situation that could have gone not so well.
Also, you have the specialized knowledge. Most landlords don't have the knowledge of being a landlord. They watch these reality TV shows, and I'm not going to say who, but there's a guy on TV that sells his real estate courses, and he makes it seem that you just have to buy real estate and you're going to become a billionaire. Well, you need to have someone that understands, number one, the RTA, and number two is the property management side. So, it's not just about buying properties, it's about keeping the properties and keeping and getting good tenants.
So, and knowledge, right? What I do, and plug here for Stonegate Legal Services. They are our affiliated paralegal. So our landlords, when they have questions, Rob and Beta and their team, they are here to help. They answer all of our landlords' questions. They have consultant calls where they can do that for any landlord there in Ontario to see where they're at. They are awesome to work with. They know what they're doing. They know your options, and it's always the landlord's decision, whatever gets done. But they're there to guide, advise, consult, same like we do. And then it's your money, your asset, your decision, right? So that's where we are. We try to help guide into the right thing. But yeah, Stonegate is a part of our team to make sure our landlords understand what it is at all times, what their responsibilities are, obligations, etc. Um, Again, when you're looking for property management companies, I definitely think everybody should have one. It is a business expense. So again, it is a write-off at the end of the year, and obviously you have to pay for it, but
Mhm.
it is something that gives you the time and the peace of mind so that you don't have to react as quickly as a tenant needs you to react. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, again, just do your due diligence. When you're looking for property management companies, make sure you understand who they are, what they're going to do. If there's a contract in place where you're stuck with them for a bit, I've heard some companies force you into a contract for a while. I got one phone call
Yeah.
just the other week where we picked up a new property, a new landlord who has 2 properties, and she said to me, "Oh my God, you answered the phone," um, and she was very happy that, and 3 times calling me, 3 times the phone was answered. Just little things like that, right? When you're looking at who you're going to get, who to help you out, this is an extension of yourself as the landlord. They become a part of your team, and it's very, very important who you're
Yep.
selecting.
I agree.
I don't know, Rob, if you want to add in anything else there to finish this off.
No, just I agree with you in regards to getting property management. It depends on what kind of landlord you want to be. If you want to be more hands on, or hands off. And the number one thing I'm going to say is do some research. Using the internet is a good way to start. Get some reviews, get some references. That's always great. I know you guys have a great reputation. I've dealt with some of your clients, and I hear nothing but good things. But at the end of the day, that landlord has to make that decision, and hopefully, this video will help future landlords as well.
That's our goal here, right? With the Ontario Landlords Series podcast, is to make sure landlords are getting information that they need about topics that are relevant to all landlords. That's for sure. So, again, if you have a property management company in place, awesome. If you don't, and you don't think you need to because maybe you only have one property, I assure you, even for that one property, it'll make a world of difference in your day to day and everyday life, so that you don't have to be the constant go to. There's lots of different reasons people use us. We have one client who lives upstairs and rents out their basement, and they use us to manage the property so they can tell their tenants or down below that, hey, we're also tenants. So they don't come upstairs and bother them, knock on the door on a Saturday because their toilet may be broken or something like that. It would be, hey, we'll call Kevin, we'll deal with that, or we'll call Cressy Property Management. So lots of different reasons, lots of scenarios. But yeah, it's a business expense. And something that you should do simply for peace of mind. Real estate investing isn't passive, but having a property management company to assist you definitely makes it as passive as it can be.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's call it a day here, Rob. Thanks so much for joining us. I appreciate the
My pleasure.
conversation as always, your knowledge and your insight, and I'm sure our listeners do as well. So yeah, this is all about property management. We'll get into other topics in the future. Thanks so much. Bye for now.
Please remember, while we are professionals, this podcast is for informational and entertainment purposes only. The advice shared may not apply to your unique situation. Always seek personalized advice from a qualified professional before making any investment decisions.
Hey everybody, thanks so much for joining us this week. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're finding it informative and useful, make sure to like, subscribe, share with a friend so that we can keep getting the information out there to Ontario landlords, and keep on joining us. We'll see you next time.